I would say hands down, email is the most important piece of my entire marketing and content ecosystem. And because I've been in business for a long time, since before we used Instagram for anything other than taking photos of our latest meal, I forget that not as many people use email marketing every week in their business. And today I want to show you the way that I think about it, how I make it so easy for myself, and why I believe that email marketing is such a fundamental part of most people's businesses. If we haven't met before, I'm Katherine Mackenzie-Smith. I support introverted, highly sensitive, and neurodivergent solopreneurs to create daily momentum in their business through sustainable steps and discovering and aligning with what success is on their own terms without the empire building pressure. And in every single video, I want to give you just one little piece that you can take and start to implement immediately and start to see that momentum building in your business. Something that I forget about is that I have been in business for a very long time, since before we really used social media to promote our businesses. And so email is just something that I do without even thinking about it. And I realize that there are a number of reasons why people are not using this tool on a regular basis. So some of the main things that come up around the hesitancy or the procrastination to send emails is that I have some people who have said that they get nervous every time they send an email because they get people unsubscribed from their list and they worry about that. And so that makes them not want to send emails. And people who just don't know what to send on a regular basis. They're not quite sure. They're already creating so much content for their communities, for their social media. And then when it comes time to send an email, they just don't have anything left inside of them. I have done a couple of videos now about how I think differently about content. So I'm going to link those below so that you can check them out as well. I recently talked about how I think of my community and how I'm showing up in there, the conversations that I'm having with my members as kind of the heart of my entire content process. So whatever is coming up with them, whatever they're asking me questions about, thinking about, whatever we're talking about in the group is kind of the starting point, the heart of my content plan. And then from there, how I build that out and repurpose it in different ways to connect with different people across all of the platforms I'm on. I also recently shared a training from inside of my membership where I helped somebody to understand how, if they have a blog that they have traffic going to and they have digital products on there, how they can best utilize their content as a way to lead people to their offers and why they are relevant and important for them right now, and how to include email into that process too. So please check those out if either of those sound relevant for you based on what you're currently doing in your business. But otherwise, let's dive in a little bit and I'm going to share with you the way that I think about email, the 3 kinds of emails that I send, and the different people who are on our client journey that we can use emails to help along that journey through nurturing, through storytelling, and then of course through sharing about our offers as well. So let's just come into my little iPad here so I can draw some pictures for you and show you exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to this. The struggles that I seem to come up against over and over again with people who I am talking to, who are trying to figure out where email fits into their business and content strategy, why they should be bothering, and also just some of the blocks and challenges that they're having around sending regular emails to their list. First of all, there is the unsubscribes, there is the perfectionism and the overthinking around like, what do I even say to people, and focusing only on social media. The other one that people come to me all the time is that they know they need to be sending more regular emails because they're only emailing their list when they have something to sell. And I know we've all gotten those emails. We have randomly signed up to somebody's list and then haven't heard from them again, only to years later start getting emails when they're promoting a new offer and instantly unsubscribe because we're like, who even is this person? I have no idea who they are. So that alone, I really want to plant that seed around why sending regular updates and emails to the people who have gone to the trouble of giving you their contact information, that you can then build trust, nurture them, share different resources and trainings and just different angles of what it is that you do that you can support them with, and meet people at whichever point along the customer journey they are, so that when they are ready to take that next step, you are the most front of mind person for them. And so the best way that we can think about this is understanding, like I've said in previous videos, that the customer journey is not a straight line. People are coming in at all points. They're looking for all different kinds of solutions, and that is not for us to determine where they're coming in. But what we need to do is have our content be able to meet those people no matter where they come in on that journey. So we're going to have people who are coming in right at the start. They are probably signing up to a free opt-in. Maybe people are coming in from a free bundle that you have been a part of. They're coming from Facebook ads. You're promoting it organically across your content. Maybe they're coming across a YouTube video or listening to your podcast or doing a search on Google or Pinterest and coming across your website or a blog post. Whatever that is you're basically your free content at the start of the journey. And then here, let's look at what your VIP or your like back end offer is. So that might be one-on-one coaching, that might be a done for you offer, it might be a premium mastermind or course. These are your people, your inner circle people who have basically come all the way to the end of the journey and they're looking for the best and biggest transformation. Now, one of my coaches, Laura Portier, she talks about that you've got like 2 to 3% of the people that you're in front of right now who are at the point where they're ready for this offer. So the 98% of people who are on your list right now, who are following you on social media, who are listening to or coming across your content, who are in your community, are at some point along the rest of this journey line. And it is your responsibility to keep showing up in different ways and sharing and talking about your offers and solving small problems for them to keep moving them along this path. Again, people are going to come in at different points and they're going to leave at different points as well. We cannot expect every single person that comes into contact with us to come along this full journey, but we need to still pave the way for them anyway. And I love email as the way to do this. So say you've got free content, let's say you've got a podcast, a blog, or a Substack. You might have a YouTube channel, social media. However, you are finding people, whether it is organic, paid, or referral. So again, that referral traffic could be coming through a bundle or maybe paid ads. So this is how people are coming into contact with your work. And then there's your offers, and you might have different offers. So you might have, say this is just for ease of explaining. You've got a $2,000 offer as your back end offer. You know, 2 to 3% of people that you're coming into contact with are ready for this offer right now. And then along the way, maybe you've got a $7 offer, you've got a $27 offer, and a $400 offer. It doesn't really matter about the prices, but just to give you an example, that you have solutions for people at different points along the journey, and you have all of this free content and ways that you're getting in front of new people on a regular basis. Now, if you are not doing any of those things and you're not getting in front of new people, that would be the first place that we want to look at, but that is not what we're talking about today. Today, we're talking about how I use email as the bridge from all of this to this. And that is the way that I think about it. So let me just move down to a clear screen. And basically, if we are thinking about our free and our paid, I kind of think of this a bit like that. This can also be ads and things as well, but we're talking about email today. So this is not about, oh, I've got something to sell, I'm going to send a bunch of emails. I actually think about it as 3 different kinds of content that I'm sharing on a regular basis to, yes, remind people that I have a solution for them that they can pay for if they're ready for that step. That is one type of email campaign that I might be sending. So that is the promotional emails. And this might look like a proper campaign where you're maybe sending 5 to 7 emails across a week where you're explaining the different benefits, you have certain bonuses, and then you're sending a couple of reminder emails as the clock is counting down to the special offer ending, the bonus ending, or the doors closing on your offer. These would essentially be launch emails. And they're a much more intentional, planned out, and very focused set of emails. But you may also just send out an email with a special offer in it. So maybe you've got a $97 offer, and for the next 48 hours, you are going to be offering it for 50% off, something like that. It's a really great way to remind people that something exists, especially if you have mostly evergreen offers where there is no urgency for people to buy that. They could buy it today, they could buy it next week, and it's usually always the same price. Having something like this adds a bit of extra energy and excitement. It gives people an opportunity who were maybe already looking at your offer and were just needing a reason to decide today, an opportunity to buy it and get a special bonus or a special discount. And it also means that you have this ability, there's a lever that you can pull at any point in time. And that is a really great reason to make a decision to do that today. So they're kind of our promotional emails. And you might send those, I would say, at most, like 1/3 of the emails that you're sending would be something like this. Other people are going to have different opinions on that. I know that there are people who are sending daily emails and they're selling something every single day. It's up to you to find the ratio that works for you, but just remembering that we want to be building goodwill with our audience. So if you are familiar with Gary Vee's jab, 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 right hook, or what is just really easy to remember, give, 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 ask. That is the way that I would probably be thinking about it in terms of building that goodwill and giving more than you're asking for something. And that's where you'll find that if you're only sending emails when you have something to offer every 3 to 6 months, for example, and you're doing that hard sell where you're sending those 5 to 7 emails, you will find that you get a lot of unsubscribes then, versus if you're sending regular emails and people kind of start to notice there's a cadence and a flow for how you're contacting them. So this is the one that everyone knows about. This is where people go, oh, I don't want to be salesy and all that in the emails. Like, just keep it super simple. Then I have what I call my quick signal emails. Now, this is particularly good if you have existing content that you can direct your people to, because this is kind of how I think about the content ecosystem. So basically, you have people who are connecting with you on all these different platforms. You've got your email list, you've got Instagram, maybe you have a community, you've got your long form content, which again, your YouTube channel, your podcast, your blog. You might be on LinkedIn, you might have a Facebook page, ads even. And these we think of most often as all separate entities. But what we actually want to do is we want to keep connecting people to the different ways that they can engage with us and our work. Because say they lose their Instagram account or delete their Instagram account or just happen to unfollow us one day on Instagram, but they're still on our email list, we can still get into contact with them in some way and share our work with them. If for some reason we decide to shut our community down or our platform changes or something like that, we then still have our email list where we can still get in contact with those people, even if we've decided to make that change. It also means that it gives you more freedom to be able to make decisions that are actually more in alignment for you, because you're not necessarily going, oh, I can't shut this community down because that is the only way that I currently have an audience and the only way that I can get into contact with my people, so I must keep that. So see how by actually having a few platforms where we're showing up, it means that we just kind of spread out across a few different places so that we can make better decisions that are more aligned for us. And it means that for any reason, we can contact people in multiple different ways, no matter what decisions they make at their end. And this is what I kind of think of as an ecosystem, because it's all connected to each other. And it doesn't matter. I know a lot of people say like, oh, but if I post this in my group, then I can't email it to my list because those people are going to see the same thing. Guess what? We're in different frames of mind when we're on different platforms. Not everybody sees every single thing that we post and publish and share. And so it is our responsibility to keep pointing them back to that content, to those different places, and reminding them to come in there. And so that is actually the email that I send the most. It is the quick signal email. And it's literally, these days, I used to send much longer emails where I would say, hey, these are the reasons you should listen to this podcast episode. This is what you're going to learn. Here are some prompts for you. Here's a bit of a story about how this came about. And in the last month or so, I've been testing a much shorter format where I basically send a couple of sentences and then just say, listen here, check out the video here. And so this is what I call the quick signal email. And this is pointing people to the content that I want to send them to. It's so that they can quickly be checking their emails on their phone. They're not having to scroll through a whole heap of text to be able to do the thing that I want to direct them to, which is please go listen to the podcast episode. Come and watch this YouTube video here. Check out this thing that I've just put out here. Now, if you're saying, oh, I don't have a podcast, a blog, or a YouTube channel, you could go through your posts on Instagram each week and you could send your best performing posts to your email list because there's a very good chance that the algorithm has not shown it to them. So you could talk a little bit about whatever the theme or the behind the scenes was of that post, what led you to create it, what feedback has maybe come through behind the scenes, and then point people to that post again so that you are directing them from one platform to another one. And by sending your most inner circle people, which are these people, and these people to your other content, it means that you are then telling the algorithm on this platform, on YouTube, on your podcast platform, that your content is high value and it's something that people are interested in. So every time that I put out a YouTube video or a podcast, the first thing that I do after it goes live is I send an email to my list saying, hey, I just made this for you. Check it out here. It is the easiest email I send to a week. And that is just 2 more touch points for how people can get into contact with me and just keep remembering that I exist in amongst all of the noise that they are seeing in their feed, in their inbox, on their YouTube channel or whatever platform that they are on. And then the third kind of email that I'm sending is a nurture / story email. And this is one that I send every now and again. I did used to send a lot more of these, but these days I really focus on this quick signal email because I'm showing up and creating content on different platforms and I want to direct people to those places more than I want them to sit and read through an email. But the nurture / story email is really about connecting back in with our people and telling them something about what's going on behind the scenes in our world that we might not share publicly on a social media post. It might be talking about something that we've had an experience with a client and it's basically paving the way for an offer that is coming, or that you are maybe opening up spots and you're looking for people who are interested, that you're telling a bit of the behind the scenes so that when the next thing arrives and you start talking about that more publicly, your inner circle people on your email list, the ones who have taken that extra step that your social media followers and audience have not done, is that they are getting a little bit more insight. They're getting a little bit more behind the scenes and they're the first to kind of hear about new things that are happening and changing in your business and why they should be interested in that, how it's going to help them. So they are the 3 kinds of emails that are really about connecting with people who are at those various points along that journey. They are your new people who are just coming in, who don't really know who you are yet. And it is your job to keep showing them that you have something to offer and that you're someone who has something of value for them that's going to help them, and building that trust with them along the way. We then have those people who are at various points along the journey already ready to take the next step. And all we need to do is show up and let them know what that next step is. And then the third group of people who I have not mentioned yet are how we re-engage our existing members, clients, people who have bought something from us before. Most people are focusing on acquiring new customers, which always costs more than actually keeping and taking care of the people you already have. The reason that we are in this kind of trust recession right now is because of the people in all of our industries who have just focused on volume, bringing large quantities of people through their funnels, through their $2,000 offers, knowing that even if those people don't get results, they move on to something else, they're always going to have this new inflow of people coming in. But what really makes our business sustainable is to have a small inner circle of people who just want to join everything that we create. They're interested in every small problem that we're solving with our offers. They want to stay in our world. And when so many people, I'm sure you've been like this, I know I've been in this position as well, have felt like they are just a number in somebody's program, they have maybe joined, and then as soon as they have paid that money, the person they've signed up to their program or signed up to work with them is so focused on selling to the next group of people that these people kind of get left behind. Let's do something different. Let's turn it around and focus on helping the people who are already inside first. And so I use these quick signal emails pointing people back to their content, not only to nurture new people that don't know me, but to also re-engage my existing members who maybe haven't checked out the group lately, who have kind of not logged into school, have not been to one of the group mentoring calls in a while. Because this is how we help people get results. It's how we reduce churn in our memberships. And it's the way that we can continue to take care of these people instead of always focusing on acquiring new people, which personally for me is part of my cozy business philosophy. I want to take the best care of my inner circle people first before I start bringing more volume into my world. And I use email to do that. So I am sending weekly emails, 2 to 3 emails a week, so that I'm continuing to remind people there are different ways that you can learn from me, you can get the results you're looking for, and that I can support you. When we're relying on people seeing our content on the Instagram feed, the TikTok feed, the YouTube feed, whatever it might be, we are then also putting all our eggs into the basket of being at the mercy of the algorithms of these platforms. And that can be very shaky ground when we actually have the ability to bring people into our email list. And I've put it over to the side, but I actually would put email right in the middle of the ecosystem because I genuinely think that it is the thing most people are comfortable joining. I love my community, my free community, my paid membership, but this gives us so much freedom with email to connect with so many more people who are not maybe on a certain platform, who don't want to join a community. And we can use that as the center point of all our content and then keep connecting people with this offer, with this space, with this platform that I'm on over here, and this other content that I've created to keep building that trust, bringing them along on this journey, and doing our part to keep re-engaging and nurturing them until they're ready to make a decision and they see us enough that they decide we are the people that can help them solve that problem. So I hope that that gives you something to think about. If you've been building your list but you haven't been able to work out what to send people, just a quick check-in can really just help keep you front of mind to your people. If you have a month where you haven't created any content, guess what? I can guarantee you have a backlog of stuff that you can refresh, bring up, and relate people back to. I have a number of videos on my YouTube channel that are a couple of years old, and I often refer back to them or send people to them because they answer the question or solve the small problem that that person has. And you can use your email to do that en masse. And I actually have 2 mini courses that are available that can really help you to take those first or next steps. If you've been thinking about really committing to your email list, or I have convinced you in this video that this is something you want to focus on for your next 90 days. First up, I have the Inner Circle Growth Game Plan. This is a full Notion template and it has step-by-step instructions to decide what you're going to offer to invite people to join your list, how to set everything up. There are templates in here for writing your welcome emails. There are social media posts and suggestions and ideas for how you can start to get your opt-in freebie in front of new people and grow your list and start emailing them on a regular basis. Every step has a very short video walkthrough and it literally will take you step by step through start to finish. If you do not have an email list set up yet, if you don't have a freebie for your list, you can go through this and get it set up really quickly. If you're looking for something a little bit more different and interesting, I also have my Evergreen Welcome Adventure. It was originally called the Evergreen Email Adventure, and this is a special kind of opt-in that is actually a 7-day email challenge that you're inviting people into, and they are basically signing up straight away to receive 7 days of emails from you. This also works if you have a community and you're looking for a really easy, low-lift way to just start to bring engagement and welcome people and onboard them into your community and the transformation you provide. But this is again a mini course with very short videos, lots of templates and step-by-step instructions on how to set up your mini challenge, how to theme it, how to create a beautiful workbook and social media posts, again, to bring people into that ecosystem. It's not just about them joining your email list, hearing from you for 7 days, and then that's it. I have also integrated into it how to get them to come and engage in your content on your favorite social media platform and how to continue bringing people back into your world through that. So if either of those feel helpful for you or something that you might be interested in learning more about, I will pop all of the links and everything down in the description so you can check those out for yourself. But more importantly, if you've spent money building your list, I know that there's some of you in the membership who have done this, even just committing to sending one email a week with a short update and one piece of content or helpful prompt or thought or just story is going to help nurture people so that when they see your content on social media, when they see your ad or you pop up in their newest podcast episodes to listen to, there is just another touch point for them to remember who you are, what you do, how you can help them, and a little bit more about you from behind the scenes. I hope that you found this helpful. Please let me know if you have any questions. If you're in the Cozy Business Common Room, please come in and share in there. I will answer any questions that you have and point you in the direction of how you can make this really easy. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please pop them in the comments and I will come back around and answer any questions that you have there as well. I have made a bunch of videos recently about content, so I'm gonna put the whole content playlist somewhere here. Thanks so much for watching and I will catch you in the next one.